Hi students, happy Friday morning. Dr. Folger here. I wanted to welcome you to Module 7. We're getting close. You are getting so good at this, and I'm getting good at helping you, and I see improvements on both ends, so that's fabulous. I wanted to share with you a little bit about how I go about grading. I know that I added this material to the assignment guideline, which is a summary of what's in the rubric. I think this is a little bit easier to use. When you open the assignment guide, you're going to see this information. What I did is I pulled the information out and formatted it just for my use while I grade, because it helps me. And I also have a printout handy that I can glance at anytime I need to. So I would encourage you to keep that rubric summary or develop a system for you to have that handy for you as you're finalizing your work and just making sure that you are your own sort of peer reviewer and that you have a nice structured scaffold to ensure that you feel confident that you've ticked all the boxes before you submit your assignments. Okay, so again, we're grading for the source, that it's a credible, relatable, accessible source that you have selected. If it's behind a password, even an ASU password protected space, then be sure to upload the PDF of the source. That way there's no question that I can access it. And what I do is I open the document, the source, and I compare it against your summary as I'm looking at succinctness, supportiveness, successfulness. And again, your summary, that I think it's section number 4 in your report, needs to have the same headers in it as the document that you reviewed, the source that you reviewed. And that way I can look at small chunks at a time and compare how you're thinking about the information in the source and how that comes into play for your particular next natural question and obviously your big goal question. So I'm looking to see that relatability, that you've found the nuggets in that article that that you want to grab onto and hang on to in your report. Okay, I think those are the best coaching tips I can give you for today. I wanted to share a little bit with you about more from my inquiry project that I'm working on in my professional life, and that is about generative artificial intelligence, ChatGPT specifically. But I'm just trying to get everything I can in all the minutes I have out there to learn more and more about ethics, usability, the different tools. I did not realize there's so many different generative artificial intelligence tools out there, text-based, images, videos, all these different types of materials that can be created through generative artificial intelligence. One of the things that I'm really interested, obviously, is how these might be useful in teaching and learning in higher education. So I have not seen a lot yet in the scramble that's going on that cutting edge. I have not seen a lot of evidence-based best practice for how faculty in higher education or even K-12 systems are utilizing artificial intelligence, specifically generative artificial intelligence, in their teaching and learning. I really am interested in seeing what teachers devise in terms of weaving in those technological tools into a process. So, for example, as you're writing your summaries for this product, I'm curious if generative artificial intelligence might be helpful in being used as sort of a collaborative partner to give you ideas and suggestions and feedback. I wonder, and maybe you can experiment with this, I wonder if you could feed ChatGPT your big goal question and your current next natural question, and sort of maybe your summary of the article that you read, to see if it could find a messages of relevance to your big goal question and your next natural question. The cool thing about ChatGPT is that it can handle a very complicated direction. You can write a paragraph direction. The trick and the time-consuming part of using it is determining those directions, so those parameters of how you might collaborate with this tool. It's almost like this is a person, an imperfect person who's going to do only what you tell it to do, but a lot more complicated direction that it can handle, a lot more complicated than what you would put, for example, in a Google search. So I'm quite sure that many of you have already experimented with some of this, but if you do happen to think of ways that ChatGPT or other tools that you know of might be helpful for you or other students in a crafty way, I would love to hear, for sure. All right, y'all have a great 2 more iterations, I believe, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. And we're getting close, so don't let up the pedal. Keep it strong. And hey, Ray, I'm gonna end.
Did you